Kathmandu Durbar Square, Nepal. Kathmandu Durbar Square, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of 3 squares within Kathmandu Valley in Nepal. Durbar Square, Durbar translates to palace or a court held by a prince, is an important site for Buddhist and Hindu rituals, holy ceremonies, royal events, and kingly coronations. Kathmandu Durbar Square. Kathmandu, Nepal. This historic square in Nepal is home to temples dating back to the 3rd century. Surrounded by fountains, ancient statues, small ponds, and a series of courtyards such as Mohan Chowk and Sundari Chowk, Kathmandu Durbar Square is a meditative, religious site for spiritual seekers. Within the inner complex of Durbar Square is the site of the old royal palaces, referred to as the Hanuman Dhoka Palace Complex. The royal palaces used to house the kings of the Shah and Malla dynasty, who ruled over the city until the 19th century. The palaces have since been turned into museums. The outer complex consists of numerous pagoda-style temples featuring the meticulously carved facades crafted by Noor artists, some of which date back to the 16th century. Under the direction of the Malla kings, Durbar Square underwent a series of changes and new architectural additions. King Mahendra Malla, 1560 to 1574, commissioned the construction of the oldest temples in Durbar Square. Built in the Nwari architectural style, his contributions included the Jagannath Temple, Kodalindeshwaram Mahadev, a stone temple of Lord Shiva, the Mahendreswara Temple, and the magnificent Talja Temple, the largest and perhaps most important temple of them all. Although these date back to the 16th century, it's believed that construction for the square itself and the palaces began as early as the 3rd century. Later, King Pratap Malla added more additions to the square, including shrines and new temples, and also restored many of the older temples. When he passed away in 1674, new constructions stopped, but picked up again during the Shah dynasty. One of the most unusual sites built during the Shah dynasty is the 9-storied structure called the Nautale, commonly referred to as Basantapur Durbar. Located at the east side of the palace, the structure has 4 roofs and was rumored to be a pleasure house. Other popular temples in the square include Mahadev Temple, Shiva Parvati Temple, Maru Ganesh, Bhagavati Temple, Sarasvati Temple, Octagonal Krishna Temple, Jagannath Temple, and the Kal Bhairav, which represents the destructor form of Lord Shiva. Perhaps the most peculiar, and revered, sites at the southern edge of Kathmandu Durbar Square is the 3-storied temple called Kumari Bahal. This Nwari temple, built by the last Malla king Jayaprakash Malla, houses the Kumari Devi, a young girl chosen through a highly selective process and believed to be the living embodiment of the Hindu mother goddess. The Kumari Devi is paraded around the square in a custom-made gilded chariot during the festival of Indra Jaitra and others, and worshipped by the people, who carefully watch her for specific signs that may allude to their fortune and fate. After a devastating earthquake plagued the area in 2015, many of the ancient temples and historic pagoda-style structures were severely damaged. Kathmandu Durbar Square was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979, and continues to undergo considerable post-earthquake renovations and reconstruction efforts. What is Durbar Square in Nepal? This historic square in Nepal is home to temples dating back to the 3rd century. Been here? Want to visit? Durbar Square, Kathmandu, Nepal. Bernard Gagnon/Wikimedia, Creative Commons. Been here? Want to visit? Kathmandu Durbar Square, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of 3 squares within Kathmandu Valley in Nepal. Kathmandu Durbar Square, Basantapur Durbar Kshetra, in front of the old royal palace of the former Kathmandu Kingdom, is one of 3 Durbar, royal palace, squares in the Kathmandu Valley in Nepal, all of which are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. What is Kabindrapur in Kathmandu? Danza or Kabindrapur at Hanuman Dhoka Durbar Square. Kathmandu Durbar Square, Basantapur Durbar Kshetra, in front of the old royal palace of the former Kathmandu Kingdom, is one of 3 Durbar, royal palace, squares in the Kathmandu Valley in Nepal, all of which are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. What makes Kathmandu unique in Nepal? There, the symbiosis of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Tantrism, which permeate Nepalese culture, can be openly seen in its multiple palaces, temples, and courtyards. Kathmandu's Durbar Square was built between the 12th and 18th centuries by the Malla kings and, to this day, remains the focal point of the city.
There is a Vishnu temple and a little temple in it. But this palace was renovated by Austrian government in 1997. And the guy called God's Hagmuller, the Austrian guy, so he requested his government to spend the money there. So they did a very good thing. It's now one of the best museums in Southeast Asia. So you are requested to go inside. It will be a little darker, but you have to mind your heads. Everything is written in English, so you can read it out and you find as the best. Okay?
Excellent.
That's all about it. And
Very
these
good.
shops you see down there, these are like a grandparents' stall. They deal all the time with the homeopathic stuff. Herbs, spices, like chaperones, you know. You get all this. My granny, she survived until the age of 97. So this was her private shop. And she used to come down. She never ever have had a doctor's allopathic tablet. She said, you guys are crazy. She was strong and fit enough. I used to come with her. And there are many markets, many streets, but the Durbar Square was a central place of the happenings in those days. Huh? That's why you can walk through the little street, but you can easily get lost for hours and hours.
Of course, yes. You know that.
Without a guide, huh? But don't worry, Robin has sent you a very good bodyguard with the 11-month martial art, just in case. I'm very
Thank you.
My pleasure. I hope you both are enjoying my sense of humor. Huh?
Yes, yeah. We do.
The what you call refix mask to represent the 9 different forms of Kali, the goddess Kali,
yes.
and then they start performing a dance here.
Remind me, please, what was exactly the goddess Kali?
Kali actually is a female consort of Parvati. You know, in Hinduism, 3 gods. Like in Greek myth, there are thousands of gods. We have 33 million different forms of gods and goddesses. But the prominent gods are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
Yes.
Brahma is a creator, Vishnu is a protector,
Creator
Shiva
and
is
destroyer.
yes,
Yes.
and Shiva is the destroyer. So the Kali is like a female consort of the Shiva.
I
But
see.
there's a story about she is the incarnation of Parvati.
She has only two hands, or she has many
She has
hands?
9 arms.
9 arms.
So
Okay.
it's been said.
You see, it is the goddess Kali with her many.
And it's
Not
been,
only her.
It's been said how the Kali goddess has been formed. Before, a long time ago, there was a demon king who went to Brahma and he did a meditation to please the Brahma. He did some soft prayers. So with that, the Brahma was, happy, pleased. And he
So
said,
Brahma was
the
the
God of creation, bless you.
Yes, yes.
And he asked him, my son, what is your wish? And he said, make
No,
me
yes.
the
break.
Yeah.
Don't mix it up. That is Hinduism now.
Ah,
not
no,
Buddhism.
no,
Don't
Buddhism.
mix-
No.
Because you
Katalaba.
had many stories about Buddhism. Don't mix
no,
it up.
okay.
Hinduism is different story.
Okay.
And then he asked Brahma that make me the strongest so that I can rule the whole world. And Brahma said, God bless you, my son. So with that, he was not walking away, he was still lingering around here. And then the Brahma asked him, why, you are not happy? You want any other wishes? You have any other wish? And he said, Master, make me immortal so that I don't have to die. And the Brahma immediately told him, no, that is against the law of creation. Everybody has to die. You have to die. But what I can do is, I'll give you simply a very easy kind of death. You will be killed by an ordinary girl. And being so powerful, strong. And he said, ha! Just a normal girl can kill me? I like this. Okay, so with that, but it was a trick from the Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu.
Okay.
So then he went and he started misusing his power, just like Hitler, He was giving tortures to the people, to the, God and goddesses. Then finally 3 of the gods decided, so we should finish this guy off. And then they created the Kali with a beautiful girl, black in complexion, looking so scary. Every god started giving the arm so that she can have the power, the weapons. So they form her with the 9, the different incarnations and the 9 arms. And then they let the girl to go to the jungle.
9 is strange because if it was 10, it's 5.
I have 2 English teachers. One came from back in 16th and 17th century. The king, known as a Siddhi Narsingh Malla, used to take a bath, like a royal bathing area. So he used to take a bath early in the morning.
So the
And
water was
even in a cold winter time, he used to take a bath from the cold water.
and
then
the water was running from this copper statue there.
the
bronze,
water used
the
to come
golden.
through that. That's a copper but gold plated.
Yes.
And then he used to take a bath and sit on this stone platform and do a meditation.
See, that was
In a summertime, he used to make the campfire right next to him to feel him hot, and then he used to do the meditation. So that's why this is conserved as one of the most beautiful, part of the palace, Nepal, full of wonderful architects.
You're absolutely right.
But this nice place.